Well, I wouldn't say I'm an oversharer, but I do have a very developed website. I have many stories about my childhood. My father was one of the people who worked very early on in the Peace Corps, and my father also won 2 Fulbright Awards, and so I'm not sure people understand or know how much I traveled as a child. For 4 months, when I was 8 years old, we lived in a tent, and we traveled around Europe. There were many crazy things that happened to us in that time. I do talk about my childhood a lot, but I don't talk about things like camping, some of the crazy stuff we did. I had a great childhood, actually, and it was unique. I went to high school in Istanbul, Turkey. I went to grade school in Holland. My father taught at Stanford, and my father taught at Berkeley and at the University of Oregon. So we always lived on a university campus, and I always thought that everything in the university was there for us as well, as children. So we always went to the library, the university library. I just thought that was a big library for kids. I do remember that sometimes students would wonder why there would be these little kids in there. We always went to the museum, the art museum, and I thought the art museum at the University of Oregon was just another extension of a thing that we got to appreciate. I knew the people that ran that museum as well as I knew my teachers, because I loved to go there. They had a big exhibit at the University of Oregon Museum that was about the Pacific Northwest. And I could still draw a picture and tell you where exactly everything was. I could still draw a picture of almost every library that I visited as a child, particularly the one, this is a funny thing, but because I went to high school overseas, and because I lived in Turkey, and I went to a school that there were only, I think, 4 kids who weren't Turkish. And instruction was in English and in Turkish. And there were certain subjects only taught in Turkish. And when that time came every day, I went to the library. So I got a free period when there was a subject that I couldn't go to because of language. And I started reading the shelf in the library in Istanbul of African American literature. And by the end of that year, I had read every book, starting with Richard Wright. And I think now, looking back, that my connection to that material, it was about outsiders. And I felt like an outsider a lot because my family moved so much. And I think that that is still reflective in my work, that I am concerned about somebody that might not be accepted. I'm concerned that they have a place. I'm very interested in empathy and kindness and respect. I think respect is such a huge element of learning to be a successful person in the world, that we respect each other through words and through actions, through deeds. I write about that. I like to write about a diverse group of people coming together. That's one of my themes, I think, in my film work as well.